Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation. My name is Emily and the community-based organization that I'm going to be discussing today is called Weave. First things first, let's define the organization's targeted health behavior. Weave is committed to breaking the cycle of violence by educating the community to better understand the issues of domestic violence and sexual assault. To better understand the importance of the organization, let's talk about the scope of the problem and who it affects. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 17.7 million American women have been victims of an attempted or completed rape. In addition, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have been victims of some form of physical violence by an intimate partner within their lifetime. Lastly, nearly 1.5 million high school students in the United States are physically abused by dating partners every year. Negative health outcomes for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault include depression and anxiety, PTSD, eating and sleep disorders, self-harm, and sexually transmitted infections. There are 5 objectives stemming from Healthy People 2030 related to Weave's mission. Among these are to reduce intimate partner violence, reduce contact sexual violence, reduce adolescent sexual violence, reduce sexual or physical adolescent dating violence, and reduce non-fatal physical assault injuries. Now for a brief overview of the organization. Weave is a 501c3 nonprofit organization with funding entirely dependent upon community donations. Their mission is to promote safe and healthy relationships while supporting survivors of sexual assault, domestic violence, and sex trafficking. Weave's vision for the future is a community free of violence and abuse. Last but not least, a little bit of history about the organization. Weave was established in 1978 for domestic violence. In 1988, they added services to help survivors of sexual assault. Most recently, in 2009, Weave began providing services to victims of human trafficking as well. Moving on to the utilization of volunteers and staff. Weave is entirely governed by a volunteer board of directors. Every board member is recruited through a referral and interview process that ensures they understand the commitment expected. Below is CEO and Executive Director Beth Hassett, Director of Housing and Client Prosperity Lilia C., and the Director of Outreach and Education Brittany Bray. Education and Prevention and Services. Weave offers a variety of education programs. Examples of these include Safe Night Out, a program training nightlife staff on how to recognize warning signs of sexual and domestic violence. They also have the Teen Education Program, educating youth between 12 to 18 years old about dating and sexual violence. Last but not least, Weave to Work is a program providing free professional clothing to people seeking to regain their independence through employment. In addition to its education programs, Weave offers extensive services to its victims. These services include individual and group counseling for domestic violence, sexual assault, and children's counseling. They also have housing options such as the Safe House Shelter, transitional housing, and the open house. They also have trained legal staff that can assist victims in filing for child custody, divorce, etc. Lastly, Weave offers safety planning for all of its survivors. As far as marketing, Weave offers outreach presentations to local schools, teen groups, faith groups, etc. They also have a location on their website where any interested party in Sacramento County can request a presentation. In addition to this, Weave has 3 store locations throughout Sacramento where you can shop and donate to support survivors' needs. Lastly, Weave gained a lot of recognition for its annual events, Feast for Weave and Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. Unfortunately, however, since 2019, COVID has halted the event operation. Strengths and weaknesses of the organization. Strengths include that Weave offers free help, that they are gender inclusive, and that they provide customer confidentiality to ensure maximal safety and discretion for their victims. Weaknesses that I could come up with is that it only has 1 location and housing facilities tend to fill up quickly. Now let's dive into the details of a specific program offered at Weave. Among their most popular education programs is Safe Night Out. The goal of the Safe Night program is to train nightlife staff on how to recognize warning signs of sexual and domestic violence and how to respond in order to keep establishments safe. Operations. Each Safe Night Out training is hosted by a local establishment for other local establishments. It is a free 2-hour training and certification program. Program duration. It is unclear exactly when the program was implemented, however, there are no indications that the program will end anytime soon. As for the effectiveness of the program, there are currently 35 participating establishments and organizations in the Sacramento area alone. Skills that may benefit an individual working for this organization include leadership to guide victims, advocacy to promote knowledge and awareness for the cause, a passion for the cause to ensure full commitment for each and every victim, innovation to maintain consistent growth of the organization, communication to work as a team, and preparedness to move as efficiently as possible. Factors that contribute to the organization's cultural competence include how easily accessible their website and crisis lines are to the public, how volunteers are trained members of the community, how Weave is constantly keeping the public in the loop with activities, newsletters, and community events, and the fact that they are an LGBTQ+ ally. Last but not least, I listed key contacts and information for those who are interested in contacting the organization. This concludes the presentation, and thank you for listening.